Hey guys, today we'll talk about holds in the direct entry. A hold is practically a tool for ATC to help them control the sequence of planes in the sky. Most of the holds you're going to perform in your flying are going to be either on the arrival phase or the approach phase of the flight. That makes sense because these are the places where planes coming from all different directions are trying to align one behind the other on the same runway, just like you would feel exiting a 4-lane highway into a single-lane road. Since planes can't stop in the air, the hold is there to keep them relatively in the same place until their position in the sequence arrives. The basic rules of holds are: at or below 14,000 feet, our timed legs are 1 minute each, while above 14,000 feet, our timed legs are 1.5 minutes long. At or below 6,000 feet, the maximum airspeed is 200 knots. Above 6,000 up to 14,000, the airspeed should not be greater than 230, and above 14,000 feet, not more than 265. A standard hold is right turns, and we turn at a standard rate of turn. The hold we are going to perform today is a hold at a VOR station, in this case Ormond VOR. We are coming from the north and our holding instructions are going to be hold north of the Ormond VOR on a 360 radial at 4,500 feet, right turns. That means that our outbound leg is going to be 360 as it radiates away from the station, and we need to maintain north of the station while we hold. Understanding the correct pattern entry is difficult for students at first, and there are a bunch of methods for getting it right. I like to try to picture the hold in my head, and then I find it easier understanding which entry is appropriate. I immediately imagine the radial for the hold as my outbound leg, and direction as the area that the plane will hold relative to the station. I then imagine what direction the plane is coming from, and I try to simplify it first to if it's a direct or parallel entry. I personally don't like the teardrop, especially for real-world cases, as it's more dangerous than the parallel. Anytime you can do a teardrop, you can also do a parallel, and the chances you will mess up the parallel entry in a high workload situations are slim compared to the teardrop. Obviously, in training environments, we also want to simulate the teardrop entry. Whenever I personally get to the conclusion that I need to make a parallel entry, I can ask myself, is it really a parallel entry, or can it also be a teardrop entry, which in that case is going to be a teardrop entry for training purposes. The direct entry, as we need to perform in this example, is simply joining the hold over the fix you are holding over, as you come from roughly the inbound direction of the hold. Once you cross the station, initiate a turn to the hold direction until you reach your outbound leg. Since we are holding at a VOR, we would start the timer whenever the wings are level, or when the flag flips, whichever comes later. That method is only relevant in a VOR hold. All other holds you start the timer whenever your wings are level, or when the CDI is centered, whichever comes first. That was a brief video on holds in general and the direct entry. See you guys next time.